Good people. So we are back with another analysis of which today we are going to be checking much more in depth of what we usually talk about, of which, as you know, that every Saturday we release some analysis of what to expect on the following week. Of which right now, let me go to another analysis. Let me just go to. Let me start by gold. Let's start by gold. So not this one. Let me take this one. So yeah, I feel like let me remove my analysis. So let's just start on a daily time frame. The aim is just to get a good entry and focus on what we see on the charts. Just focus on what you see and try to get a good entry on what you see. So I feel like on gold we are having some trend that's much more like this. So if you're gonna spot it, try to connect much more dots with it just to see how it actually connects or how it actually move over time. And also have something like this at the top, of which I've just started from here and also from here, of which you can easily see that this could be our main searches here, of which simply say when it comes to this level we're looking for sales, but also it feels like we had another level here, of which this level acted as an inner level of resistance here, of which give us some few sales to the downside. By looking how it's actually moving, you can easily just draw a trend line here, simply just following the chart of how it is moving. Also try to cater for this level also here, but don't worry, we're on a daily time frame. We're still going to go today or 4 hour time frame, but I'm trying to see my low at this particular level here. Okay, right now we'll be focusing on this level, focusing from this, we'll be focusing from here, focusing from here only, here to this side. So let's go to a 4 hour time frame. I feel like gold is trying to drop a little bit because I can see the way it is moving to the upside. It seems like we are having some slimming triangle when it comes to the upside. And also, if you are smart enough, you can easily see that this was our downtrend. See, and here we experienced a break of structure, and after getting this break of structure, we had a biggest impact to the downside, of which this one could be resulted to us getting more buys at this particular level. If you missed this one here, we're able to get another buy opportunity at this level. Try to aim for this high, but you could have easily taken your take profit here. Now let's see, since I was able to draw this diagonal trend line, of which this is a resistance one. Let's try to find out what is actually happening right now. Let's focus on it and see how we are going to be getting some new entries based on it. Of which, as you can simply see here, this could be our spaces here, giving us the level of fair value gap here, giving us some touches. Now I'm trying to maneuver more, giving us some fair value gap there at the top. And also, as you see, the way we are moving, we approach at this level. We have approached at this level with the pattern that show the less momentum, of which this is a rising wedge. A rising wedge simply means the market has a high potential of giving us a reversal, of which unfortunately we had this particular reversal to the downside. See, and also during the time, I feel like this was the time of CPI. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, if it was the time of CPI, I feel like gold was looking for buy. We had this buys on gold. I don't remember, but I feel like gold. But something happened on CPI, but it seems like I don't see it right now. But what I see right now, I feel like we had a rising waves to the upside, of which we ended up touching this level of fair value gap here, giving us a touch here, and also we had a touch at this level here. And now it seems like the way we are dropping to the downside, we are respecting this pattern, because you can see that we have broken below, came back and retested it. We retested it here below, giving us a high trend. I feel like gold is looking much more to drop. This is much more of a pure price analysis, but you must try to use some other stuff, so that's going to help you see what you are actually going to. So we also have this level here, but now seems like we have entered. Let's see if we have entered below here. Okay, I feel like we have entered. The price is below this level now. Our aim is to target this low. So if you see a drop in this free space here, just know that you are looking for much more pressure to the downside, because this much more of a free space of which you'll be looking to put our sales until it hits. And also, guys, try to follow your trend. Follow the trend the way it is actually moving. You can see we have our touch here at 61.80% of it. That simply means that you're looking for reversal. Now let's quickly jump to 1 hour time frame. Okay, my 1 hour time frame simply looks like this. See, I feel like gold is going to give us more sales to the upside, sorry, more sales to the downside. But if it's continue playing above this particular level here, just know there's high potential that it might be a ranging market trying to range here, and also trying to move like this. Just always remember the simplest rule when it comes to ranging markets: trade what you see, not what you wish to see. What I'm trying to say there, trade with an overall trend. If you are on an uptrend, if you are willing to take those scalps inside the ranging market, try to look for buys. If you are on a downtrend and you want to take a trade on that particular ranging market, try to look more of some sales. You see, so that's what is happening right now. We had our reversal here, touch the level of fair gap using a rising wedge. Even right now, we came back and retested it with a double top, looking much more offset to the downside. Now I feel like we are at the level of the supporting level of this particular pattern here. The thing that we must look for patterns, indications, performs candlestick that will also detect what we must do if we reach this particular level. Of which the other thing that you can easily do is just like your Fibonacci here and take it to sky high. Okay, feel like we are at some 61.80%. That simply means that we are in some deep reversal of this uptrend. Having some high potential to go to the upside, giving us a reversal. But also, if you see a break below, just know that you are being attracted or pulled to this free space. We'll be looking much more of sales, and also remember to use some of your indications to place your sales. So if you are looking for more of buys, try to draw your trend line like this. This is a 1 hour time frame. Draw your trend line like this. So this simply means that if you see a break above this trend line going to the upside, if you see a break of this trend line going to the upside, try to look much more of buys. If you see a break above this uptrend, this simply means that the market is now ranging in these prices. So if you see a break below, also look for sales. But overall, I feel like since we're having this pattern and we are expecting much more of it, and gold has been giving us more of sales this last week, let's hope that's going to give us more sales until it comes to this downside. Because on Friday we didn't get much of highs, but we had a ranging markets the whole day. So I feel like the Asian session is going to give us some few buys when it's touched here the 50%, and after touching the 50%, let's see what London and New York session also do. So right now I feel like we're done. Let's quickly, I feel like we're done, but let me show you something. My entry for gold, if I'm looking for buys, going to be like this and also like this. Look at my TP, I'm aiming for these highs here, or I'll be aiming for this high, depending on the volatility on the market, or depending on my capital that I'll be having at this moment. So if I'm looking for sales, I'll be waiting for the market to give me something that's much more like this. I want to see a break below this candles here. Then take it to the downside. This is what I'm also willing to risk. See, this is what I'm also willing to risk. So for now, let's quickly jump to USD without wasting any time. So this can be okay, guys. So this is USD. As you see that the way that USD is moving, I once said that USD is going to buy big time. It's going to give us more big highs to the upside. Of which right now I feel like we are on that type of the year, or that type of the moment of whereby USD is willing to shoot to the upside. Look what is happening here. So in USD we have a touch here, of which we have touched the level of resistance. As we all know, that at the level of resistance we'll be looking much more of the pressure to sell, but we won't be focusing here. Now we want to get a good entry to see what is actually happening on USD. And also, guys, remember that USD simply means that there are 30 companies behind the movement of this particular index. So don't trade it with your own analysis. Try to compare with what is happening with US, so it's going to be much more easier for you to maneuver with the trend. See? So now we are on a daily time frame, so let's throw it here. And also let's try to throw it here. We'll be focusing much more on here, because I feel like this is the same thing every time when you reach this top. We have this thing here, you see this one, and also we had this one here. So this one happened last year, like 14 November. So yeah, it's happening in November, this one, and this one happened this year in January, and also we have this one from June, July until August. So I feel like this is coming February. This will happen like in February. I feel like this is the biggest range of USDT until we get the biggest impulse to the upside. I feel like this type of impulse to the upside is going to come during the time of NFP next month, or the time of CPI next month, of which we must be expecting those type of movement or those type of pushes to the upside, because we are approaching the end of the year. The end of the year, most of the companies must make some profit. See, so let's be looking for those short position on USDT for now, since we can see that we have touched the level of resistance. As you can see, when you touch the level of resistance, then we get this particular pin bar at the top, closing at the top. We'll be expecting some few reversals to the downside. Now let's quickly go to 4-hour time frame. Okay, now a 4-hour time frame much more look like this. So we are on a touch, it down, it down. Now when it comes to this uptrend, let's try to focus on these particular levels here, of which you can easily spot them with ease. So we're on a high time frame. Let's try to focus on this level here. And also guys, try to watch this video to the full of it, so that's going to be much more easier for you to get those good entries when the week starts to open, or when the week starts to move. Because some of you will be looking for signal but also fail to watch this video to the end, fail to understand what is actually happening on the charts. Okay, so it's much more like this. So I feel like we have this uptrend here. We have something that's much more of trends. So the other thing, try to use your strategies in the way that you are able to change them over time. You know how to organize your strategy, you know how to separate how they actually work. By doing so, you are going to make a killing when it comes to your strategy, you see. So this is a 4-hour time frame. In a 4-hour time frame, we have something that is much more like this. Don't mind this lower, because don't mind this lower high, because in this lower high, the only thing that's present this lower high is because of these supporting levels here. This is the supporting level that's present this lower high. As you can see, at this particular lower high, we have a touch here at the level of, this could be also called the level of fair value gap here, and also this one was the level of fair value gap, trying to be much more filled. And now we are being pulled, or we are being attracted to those particular levels. The other thing that you must know is that let me throw another Fibonacci to this side. Okay, I feel like this particular level is on a good side, of which is 0.5, of which now the main focus is in this particular level here. Let me make it bold. If you are looking for sale, try to close your sale at this level on USD, because I feel like we are going to kill USD if you are willing to place your sale, then come to this level before going to the upside. Even the way it is moving, let's watch how it's moved. Try to watch the trend of USD right now. Don't expect some big move. Look like this, like this, like this, like this. I feel like this particular level are being touched or are being respected the most. So I feel like if you are going to break this trend line here, we've been looking for much more of sales to this downside here. For now, let's quickly jump to a 1-hour time frame. Okay, so we are on a 1-hour time frame. So if you break here, just know that this could be your entry. Your entry could easily look like this on USDT. I feel like your entry could simply look like this or like this, but mainly try to make it look like this, or try to touch this level of a diagonal support, so that you're going to be much more of a trending person who is trading with the trend. when it's moved like this, when it's touch this level here, start to look for more of buyers to the upside. So that's what I can advise you when it's come to USD right now. Okay, I mark this level here, I mark this one, also mark this one. Now we are approaching this level. As you can see that in this particular level, I feel like we'll be having some more of touches, but like we are breaking below it. And also try to maneuver it when you try to change your time. I feel like we are breaking below it. The way we are actually moving, the movement here, let's see what is actually going to happen here. But if you get a break to this downside, just know that you'll be looking for much more of sales until we reach the other level of a diagonal support. But now we are in this support, let's try to look for this level at the diagonal support. But if it's continued to give us some few candlestick reversals here, some patterns here at the bottom, the only thing that can help you to see those candlesticks is just to go to those lower time frame and try to check for more what is happening. You see, and also let's say it is going to buy, this must look like this. This must break this trend and go to the upside. See, but for now, since we're on USD and we're on the level of resistance, I feel like we'll be getting some few reversals to the downside. If it is break this trend line here, if it's break this, let me change the color of it, let me make it blue. So if it's break this blue trend line here, you see we'll be going for sales until we reach this white trend line at the bottom. You see, this is the trend line we'll be trying to reach, then we'll be looking for much more of buy. Or we reach this level of support here, then we'll be looking for more of buys. The other thing that you must know, try to trade what you see, not what you wish to trade. Just follow the trend. The trend will simply represent yourself. You simply represent itself towards you, because now you'll be all day trying to focus on what you must get in the chart. So now let's focus on the trend and try to see what is actually happening. Okay, we are on that level right now, of which this is the other level here. So if it is break this level, just know that this is particularly a strong level here that we are trying to break. So if we break below it, we'll be looking more of sale. But if we break above, that's mean now we're on a double confirmation trade, you'll be looking for much more of buys. Of this simply mean low risk, high reward. Same way for sales, low risk, for buys, high reward. You just break here and wait for those type of confirmation, wait for those type of build up, those 1 minute build up or 5 minutes build up. Those are going to be the one that will get you a good nice entry. Okay, so for now I think like we're done. Let's quickly jump to GBPUSD, the Great British Pound. So let me use this one. So this is the Great British Pound. The only thing that you must know about the Great British Pound is that the Great British Pound is also trading like Euro USD, of which you won't be focusing much on the won't be focusing much on it, or we won't be focusing much on it because we'll be comparing it with some other currency pairs. You can see that on GBPUSD, I feel like on GBPUSD we're on the uptrend. Let's go to a daily time frame and see what we actually have. So we have something that's much more like this. Let's try to follow the trend. The most simplest thing that you can do is just to follow the trend. I want some GBPUSD, follow the trend. That's what you must do, follow the trend. Okay, I feel like we are on this one. Let's move like this. This is a daily time frame, by the way. We've broken this level, we have come back to touch this level here. Look what happened before when we were touching this level. When we were touching this level before, where those sales at this particular level, we got those sales and also we got those sales here. What I'm trying to say is that the market will intend to repeat itself when you focus most of the time. When you focus on it, you get those sales to the downside, or you just see a continuation to the upside. But the most important thing, trade what you see, not what you see. I feel like I should make this my slogan, by the way, because I like saying it. But most of the time, it usually works and it's helped me to know what to expect on the chart. Then let's go to a 4-hour time frame. Then my 4-hour time frame look like this. We had a sale here, and also I feel like we're going to have some sales here on GBPUSD. I'm not saying that GBPUSD moves the same way as USD and also move the same way as gold, But as I'm saying, is if you follow your analysis, you can easily see how it's actually moving, or easily see how it's actually developing its movement. Because let me try to scroll it and see what I mean about that. So this type of movement usually happen like this on USD. Let's go to a higher time frame. So the way we are moving on GBPUSD, it is much more of a downtrend here. This could be our downtrend for USD because we are at this particular level. Look what's happened before it just give us a range, then go to the downside, give us a range, then go to the downside. But let's hope that maybe it will go to the upside, or maybe it will continue giving us those low risk trade. Let's go to the time frame. I was in this one. Okay, I was in this trade. So when it comes to yesterday, I'll be looking for more of sales if it's break this level here. If I see a break at this particular level, I'll be looking for much more of sales to the downside, and also I'll be trying to figure out in which level will I expect my reversal of this trade, of if this could be my level here. I've been waiting to see my reversal at this particular level. This could be the place where I'm looking for reversal, but from here to here I am trading, I am placing my trade, I am fully aware of my trade, and this could be my other level of a build up at this particular level. If I see a build up here, I'm willing to let my trade run depending on the pull or on the build up that I'll be waiting to see here. So if I see any structural pattern at this particular level or any candlestick, that will detect that my sales are in charge. I will simply not hesitate. I will place my trade, then look for the lower high that must be respected before getting that reversal to the upside, or before I hit this bottom here. As for GBP USD, I feel like we are having some more pressure on sales, because I'm looking for the way it is moving here this every time when it touched this level. So before it touches, then went to the downside, and now it is touching it again. I feel like it's going to do the same thing, but also remember, this is GBPUSD currency pairs. This simply means that this is another country trading with another country. Simply means that anything can affect the chart to go to the upside. That's why it is always important to, if you're analyzing, try to also watch news. Try to compare your own strategy or your own analysis, what is happening inside the real world market, because right now we are just analyzing what we know, and we are trying to get the entry from what we see. But the thing that we don't understand is that what can happen if our trade or our analysis doesn't work out. The best thing that you can do, try to trade with time. Trade with what is happening in US, trade what you hear or what you see in GBP USD, sorry, in British, so that it's going to be much more easier for you to get those high probability trade. You see, so my trade will be looking much more off like this. Let me see something. Okay, we are on it. So as I said, this could be our level of but we'll be getting some reversal, but from here at this particular level, I feel like these are the same level. But what is happening? Okay, I feel like here again I'll be looking for much more of my sales to the downside at this particular. Let's go to a 1 hour time frame. Okay, the other thing, I feel like sales right now are in a good position to get in. So if you're looking for sale, you can also scalp from here to read the downside. Because of what I see in this particular level, sales, I feel like sales are getting in. Of what I see here, I feel like sales are getting in. And also the way it is approached at this level here, the level of which you can easily call it the level of an inner resistance, or whatever that you can easily so call it. But I feel like it is having much more of some hard time to break it above. So I feel like the next structural level of which you can easily go and attack is this particular level here. But overall, if you feel like you are getting more pressure to the downside, but if you're willing to scalp, this level is good for take profit, and this level is good for also for day trading, and also this one will be still fine for a day trade, depending on the volatility of the markets on this particular day. So this is how I'm looking for my GBP USD. So let's go to those 30 minutes. Okay, my 30 minutes, same thing. I feel like we are having some choppy markets here. It is failing to break the structure, giving us some lots of candlestick. But on GBP USD overall, I'm still looking for it to push to this downside. So yeah, just like that. So for now, let's quickly go and see let me do something. So my entry will be looking like this. If I see a break below these levels here, maybe try to take it to this level and also try to risk this. This is what I'm willing to risk. May put it here, may put it here. The usually depend on the volatility of the chart, but I'm not trading with my capital. I'm trying to use levels to get my stop loss and also levels to get my TP, because understanding level, you will easily see that if the market hits my TP at this particular level, it is not now looking for sales, it is on a position of going to the upside. So I will just close the trade and look for buying opportunities, and if it's continue to hit my stop loss, then I'll just call it a day, then try to see what will happen on the next following day. That's how I usually trade. So I feel like we'll be getting some few sales to the downside. Yeah, and also to get this type of entry, see your candlestick, see your pattern information, see the volatility of the market. Those three things are going to be the one that will detect the possibility of your trade being a success. So let's quickly jump to let's quickly go to Nas100 right now. Nasdaq, Nas100. Let's say Nas200, Nas100. So let's try this one. Okay, I feel like it is the same thing as USDJPY, but I feel like this is the same thing as USDJPY, but the only load that we are having right now, we are having this structure on Nasdaq of it. This could be the uptrend of the Nasdaq, and this could be the reversal place of HUS. As you can simply see, we are having some pin bar right there, some hammer bearish one, simply detecting that we'll be looking for much more of sales. And also we are having this supporting level of which it was suitable to support the structure to go to the outside, which even here the prices have been met, and they also trading it will be, I feel like it's going to be much more simpler. Then let me place it here. Let's go quickly to 4 hours time frame. Okay, now we have something that's much more like this. You see, it is like this. Even if I can place my Fibonacci, you can easily see that some of the levels are being respected, of which we had at 0.5, we had at 0, now we had a 50% only. Now we have touched this level, have a touch here, a touch here, a touch here. Then let's see how sexual what is happening. What is happening? We have a touch, and also this was a close touch. No touch, no touch, but here we have a touch. So we have a 1, 2, 3, and also 1, 2, giving us a double confirmation. This was a simply mean. We have a touch here, making this level like a highly strong level to give us more buys to the upside when it comes to USD, but also so when it comes to Nas100, but also try to look much more of the way it is forming at this particular bottom here. This could be the level of support of it, but in the level of support, we all know that people looking much more of sales, such as look what's happening here. Every time when it reaches this level, we had this big reversal. I feel like it was the time of NFP or CPI. This one with this such kindly form in 2 hours. This one is big. So forming 4 hours, this one could be big. Let me, okay, this one could be big. Let's try to touch it, then went up again. I feel like it's going to do the same thing. Then I feel like we are going to buy on Monday when it's come to Nas100. I feel like Nas100 is going to give us some few buys to the upside, depending on what we hear, on what we see. Let's go to a 1 hour time frame. Okay, so my 1 hour time frame is telling me that Nasdaq is might give us some few ranges, to the downside, or try to move within a pattern. You see, try to touch here. You can see we have a touch went to the upside, we have a touch went to the upside. I feel like we're also going to have a touch and go to the upside. This could be a day trading entry. Try to put it like this, then put it like this. Let's go to 30-minute time frame. Okay, we are on some 30-minute time frame. Don't see anything. Let's go to a 15-minute time frame. Okay, fine. I feel like we are seeing something now on 30-minute time frame, on 15 minutes, because I feel like this could be our double bottom here. This could be our 1-2 touches to the outside. And if we break this structure, let me make it like this. So if you break the structure, I feel like we'll be having much more of a inverted head and shoulder at this level going to the upside, because by spotting it with ease, try to be much more of a person who know how to understand the movement of the chart, because by spotting it with ease, you can easily see that this could be our inverse head and shoulder formation here. You see, this could be the way there's the Fibonacci, sorry, I say Fibonacci, the head and shoulder could be formed before taking us to the upside. Not everything must be spotted easily, it must be spotted with understanding. So this is the place where I'll be looking for all my buys. Even right now, buying Nas100 at this particular level, it is a good choice. You can just buy it. Then, so if you buy it here, this simply means that you are going to have a low risk, but also be aware of spikes and also be aware of stop loss hands. See, be aware of those things. Liquidity grab, stop loss, and be aware of those things. So if you are scared, try to put your buys here, but always for it to break this level, so that you're going to have a much more of a trend that look like this. But overall, on Sanders, I feel like we're looking for much more of buys in this trend. Look how the way it is moving. See, just follow the trend, and try to get a good, nice entry. If you lose, this is fine. You still follow the trend. That is like the most important part you must try to do. Follow the trend. So let's go to USDJPY. USDJPY. Let's take this one. Okay, so this is USDJPY. Let's go to a daily time frame. So my daily time frame looks like this. I feel like some of you can easily see that this is your daily time frame looking like this. Then we have our high here. Then we have some sorts of a ranging market, and also we are on an uptrend. This what I can easily see on DXY. We are on an uptrend. Then we are able to get this one, a touch. Then I feel like we had some breaking of this trend here, but the only thing that must try to see that we didn't break the structure. See, we must break the trend, but we didn't break the structure, or we didn't break this trend line here. So what I can easily say that we are still moving within an uptrend, because as you can see, even this candlestick here is able to give us a rejection to go to the upside. Look how it is big, that can be formed in one day. If this can be formed in one day, that simply means that buyers are still in charge and are having some higher potential to still push the market to come to this high, or to come maybe at this particular level here. See, let's go some 4-hour time frame. Okay, now our structure is look much more of like this. I feel like by placing buys on USDJPY, buying it from here to here could be a good trade. See, or maybe try to buy it and try to move it with the trend, or maybe try to buy it when it's touch this level here. Again, when it's come back to touch this level, try to buy it. That's what I can say. When it comes to touch this level, you can just try to buy it and go with it to the upside. This is a 4-hour time frame, by the way. So if you see a buy from this level, try to go up also with it. This is what I can just simply say, because if I can simply throw it like this, I can see that it's giving me some few extended pattern. Simply means that we are still looking for continuation to the upside. I feel like the movement is not done yet. Look how it is moving. Like we have this one here, then feel like again, then shooting to the upside. I feel like we are going to have some few development or some double bottom here, then we go to the upside. Now we are on some to still the same thing, 1 hour, still the same thing. Let's just wait for it to come back to this level, or maybe from here then give us some to get some buys to go to the upside. Let's go to 30 minutes. You can easily see even on 30 minutes that is much more of something that look like this. And here we have a bounce to the upside, we have a comeback and a reset. There's some of you, if they saw this one, maybe they will grab it here and try to aim for this high. That's what I can say. Yeah, try to aim for this high, try to place it here. When it's come back to this level, try to place it here. I feel like it's going to buy big time to the upside. Even if you can throw your trend line, you can see they were on a development of a trend. see we are on some fucking development of a trend. So I should take your TP here and also try to place it like this. I remember the time when I was trading USDD on Wednesday. I also have the entry that was looking like this, of which is end up giving me much more buy to the upside without using many things, but understanding how the charts actually move and how it's developed over time. But now the trickiest thing that we have is break this high. So if you break this high, just know we are on a continuation of an uptrend. See, without wasting any time, I feel like this is our last video of the day. Then more analysis and more what to do when you're analyzing coming every day. So good luck. I hope you are going to have a good tradable day.